Greetings and salutations, universe. This is Creeta, and hello. I'm in a whole thingamabobber. I'm hooked on. Hooks are fantastic. We could actually probably do this over here as well. Can I hook over here? And then hello. I'm hiding, kind of. I'm peeking over. Now, what this peeking might entail is that we have a new small little building here. Because we are in Minecraft version, is there a way to show it? We're in 1.12, and what that means is we can have a fish farm like this one, and if we just grab a good fishing rod, this is a pretty good fishing rod, and I hold down the button right here, we will just fish forever, because Zazuma, who I've totally taken this design from, and he took it from someone else. We don't know where the true origination of it is. It just gets you all the fishing loot you could possibly ask for. Now, I've already sorted through a lot of it, grabbed the fantastic books and saddles and bows and more fishing rods and books and books and books. Look at this. We're going to have a nice little library here. These ones... each bookshelf kind of displays differently, so this is a rainbow bookshelf, an ancient bookshelf, etc. Anyway, I did this so that we could get mending on things like our helmet, this amazing ore trawler, get it? Because trawling for fish. Oh, I'm so funny. And then we also have the lovely, amazing charngler, because we're angling for charcoal. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm also sorry to some witches. We have found a witch spawner. There's rooms that are along the rails, and there was one with some treasure in it, like blocks of iron and gold and diamond and whatnot, and it had a witch spawner in it. See, there's a witch. Behind here, we now do have a witch spawner is in the middle of it. Ow. Our big wall of spawners. Oh, it's lovely. And to deal with the witch healing herself all the time, we have now a crushing system. They will die from both entity cramming and from these golden spikes, which will drop a little bit of experience. But that means we have access to glowstone. The other thing that's new is that we are now on a server. Well, I think we made this a server some time ago, but we updated the version. We are now on the dev version, the development version of Omnifactory, which we'll link in the description below. And what this means is we may or may not have been joined by a friend of ours. Behold, a train station and a cool entrance. This goes to our basement, so this is a shortcut into our pagoda. Lovely. And if we take a very specific track, we have been joined by someone who shall be playing in tandem to us, though he may or may not have gotten ahead of us a little bit. Oh dear, I can't crouch in a minecart, can I? Woo-wee. Now, this is quite a long train track. This took a whole 3 minutes to get down. Now, we're using the natural rails that are in Lost Cities and just sort of diverting them. So this is the way back to our place. Now I'm just going to break that because we don't want to have multiple rails. We need to make a better train station, so to speak. Now, his name is Brim. He's currently named Burning Brimstone, and as we can see here, he doesn't like building as much as we do, apparently. Okay, anyway, so Brim will probably join us from time to time, but for now, we must move on with the episode. No time for distraction. Okay, we definitely want something that isn't a quest at all, which is these Pharaoh lanterns. We have access to glowstone now, which means we should be able to use these amazing puppies. I don't like torches in our wooden base. I feel like a fire that isn't enclosed in a lantern is terrible. And there's not a lot of lamps. I don't see any good light sources. Lamps. How about lantern? Right, we have this lantern right here, a jack-lantern, sea lantern. This mod pack doesn't seem to have a lot of options for torches. We can't even chisel for a different look, which is in the future version of the chisel mod, not in the 1.12. We could chisel it for new torches, but we don't have that option. So let's try making this room super dark for a second, and we're going to see what happens when we put down a feral torch, or feral flare. And yes, I believe that is a League of Legends reference. Now, right now it's not super bright, but over time, I believe it'll brighten up this entire room. Yeah, I feel like this room is a little bit brighter than it was before, but let's let some time pass and see if that makes a difference. Yep, I think that works great. We've put a few more around the place. It does kind of make it seem a little bit too bright in here. I also put one underneath us. It says that it slowly spreads to slowly decay if we remove it, so we'll experiment with it a little bit. This is another room. I have one tucked behind the bookshelves and above the door, and we seem to have a very nice bright room right here without the obtrusive look of burning sticks on the wall all over the place. We could probably get rid of a few even, and we have improved this space right here as well. Okay, anyway, we need to move along with actual quests. So let's take a look at where we left off. We want to be making some pistons, conveyors. I did make some copper wire. Fine copper wire, so we could make a whole bunch more stuff, but let's finish off Genesis. I know I keep saying that, but new quests appear, so that's not our fault. So we want to get a 16x battery buffer. I believe that is what this thing requests. Lovely. So let's pop that in here. So we already have the 16x tin wire, so we should be able to just make a low voltage puppy right there. This is a sort of an optional thing. We can put 16 batteries in here if we so desire. I'm not sure if we do, but we'll figure that out at some juncture. Can I pick that up with a wrench? No. What if I hit it? No. Because I don't think we're supposed to pick it up with the hammers. I think that was a thing, but I don't know what to use if it's not that. How about just a normal wrench? Can we right click? Okay. Can we mine it? Ah. Okay, good. So we'll want an actual wrench on ourselves. That is good to know for rotational purposes and other uses as well. Now the other thing that we have in here is, I believe for the compressor, we need to make some pistons. Can we make 2 of these? Do we not have what we need in here? Do we need some more motors? I did make some motors, so we should be in good order in a good position to make some pistons. That is a quest of its own, and from the pistons make a compressor. I really wish we'd made one last episode so that I could have this operational the entire time, but that's okay. I don't mind. What we're going to do is slap down another 4x conductive iron cable, and now we should be able to compress things. So in the past, we were making wrought iron plates, for example, or any plate, by basically squeezing 2 together with a hammer. Now, if we take a wrought iron, if we put in 2, which normally would have produced 1, this should give us 2 plates. Nice. So there's the second one coming. Now we can make plates at a 1-to-1 ratio. That is so lovely. Now, speaking of ratio, that quest that I did on accident off camera was the fine copper wire. It's just an alternate recipe if we wish to utilize this fantastic stuff. Where did that recipe go? Oh, right, it's right here. If we make motors, we can either make it with fine copper wire or normal copper wire. And this stuff is just 4 times as small as the copper wire, so we save on a whole bunch of that, which is fantastic and lovely and amazing and beautiful. All right, let's find out what is wrong with the kitty cats. Meow. There was that quest for the drawer controller, and now that we have easy access, or relatively anyway, to our lovely little primitive circuits. Is there any shorter recipes for this? Aha! See? Right there. Fine copper wire. Anyway, we have plenty of primitive circuits, so we should be able to easily dedicate some to a drawer controller. There we go. Lovely. And this little fella you can read here basically allows us to connect a whole bunch of drawers together. So if I put this here, I could put in our lovely, fantastic ores into these. And yes, I've been doing a ludicrous amount of mining. Look at that, 5k redstone ore. But we would be able to basically slap some stuff in there. So if we take out a stack of each of these, I can right click on this and it'll put them into the respective drawers. Drawer controllers are amazing, though that one does look a little bit funny. The next quest that we want to take a look at is flux capacitors. Now, from my understanding, these things are incredibly overpowered because they can act as a battery. Their base level, one has a charge of up to 10 million RF, which acts as a 22.5 million EU battery, and they can be put in a CEF. So let's figure out the situation there. I have already done the research, and I don't think we can find sulfur unless we do some fancy stuff with machinery. So we could like grind some silver dust with mercury or get an electrolyzer later. I want this now. So we are going to do the lovely thing of buying what we need with our coins, and we're just going to yoink that out and toss that into a furnace. Nice. Now that should give us all the sulfur we need in very short order, and look at all this lovely stuff. Oh, it's amazing. That should be plenty. If we toss this in here, we should be able to make some amazing little flux capacitors. I just want a whole bunch of these, so I'm going to make a bunch. There we go. And that should be the quest complete. Now, these got little fellas. The reason I want so many of them is they are totally enchantable. So if we cross the hall, we have a lovely enchanting spot right here. I had to remember if that was there. And they can get holding on them. And I think holding 4 is a pretty good number. So I'm just going to hope for it. Some of them aren't going to get it, like that guy. And we'll set those aside to be expanded on later. The ones that do get it, I think that we can upgrade them and they'll keep the enchantments. At least that's my understanding. So let's give that a try. Let's hope this works. So, doesn't look like it's working. Maybe it doesn't like that particular recipe. If I put you there very specifically, so now that remembers the recipe, or the enchantments, it looks like it does work. And if I imagine if we do that in a crafting table, it'll work as well. It's not some glitch with the work table, though my brain is kind of saying it might be. So let's just verify that real quick. Holding 4, yep. If we put in this really weird auto smelt one, yep, it keeps auto smelt. That's what the rest... Okay, there's the auto smelt. It was just a visual glitch. Now these guys have 120 million RF, so each one could hypothetically act as, if we enchant it, or if we expand it on the proper one. There we go. I want to make this one. This is the good one. If we put this down in our system down here, which, oh yeah, I need to show you that. These batteries, these small lithium batteries, have 100,000 EU. Hypothetically, this one, from my understanding, should have 30 million EU. Because the conversion rate is a 4-to-1 ratio. Now, the system that I have here is that when this is full, the comparator emits a redstone signal, which basically just turns these off. So it's an auto shut-off valve. Otherwise, they'll just keep running. I think there's an augment for that. Speaking of augment, I should really get the fuel catalyzers in here. Nah, I'll take a look at augments another time. There might be some other augments that might be very helpful for us moving forward. But yeah, let's continue moving forward. What's the other thing we want to make? Oh, a magnet! I can finally have a magnet! Oh, that's so exciting. I've been mining without a magnet, and it's terrible. I don't want to do that anymore. So let's get a magnet for Creeta. That'll make Creeta happy. So let's take a look here. We're going to toss that in there and grab out a magnet. Ta-da! I just need to charge it, and things will be good. But I do want to give that a quick little upgrade. So can I have some Invar, please? I think I was smelting some. Beautiful. Toss that in there, and Fluxo Magnet. Pretty sure we can't upgrade this yet because we need Electrum. Oh, I guess we could. We just need to grind down some stuff and whatnot. Does that mean we can upgrade the Flux Magnet thing? Oh, that needs hardened glass. I'm not going to go into that. The 40 million's a lot. That's going to take a long time to charge that little fella with our relatively poor steam dynamos right there. But we have plenty of coal, 11,000 of it. Oh, should I show you the coal? Behold, the grove of spruce trees. So this is just a ton of saplings planted on the ground in a big square. The tree grows, and we have a lumber axe. This thing will just keep breaking things as we've demonstrated. So if we chop this, I think it will just keep going and going and going. And then new trees will pop up. But yeah, and because this has smelting on it, it's just all charcoal. It's all charcoal. It's so nice. The next thing that we need, and I believe the last thing for Genesis, is the leadstone thruster, which will be built into this fantastic jetpack. Let's see, where'd it go? I just made it. There it is. What we need for this little fella is also a strap, I believe, which we did prepare a steel plate. We found a little bit of steel in our adventures in the Lost City, so that's all good. Otherwise, we just have to wait a little bit longer. Where? Oh, where is our leather? Here's our leather. And without too much rigmarole, we should be able to make this jetpack. Now, why? Oh. Hey, will that take on the enchantments? Oh, it didn't. That's interesting. So that's a good use of flux capacitors if you don't want to deal with the enchantments. So that is good news. How can we charge this little thing? Can we charge it in a CEF? Will that work? Oh, it does work. Lovely. That's fantastic, actually. Now, I believe that the jetpack will allow us to just sort of hover a little bit or shoot into the sky. Oh, yeah. Oh, it even has animation. Oh, I'm flying. Hey, it's a flying Creeta. Flying. And there we go. Everything is looking proper. This is a repeatable quest, so we can always click on that and get another cake. I don't know if we'll end up going to the Void World a whole lot. I know I did a little quick, here's the Void World, but I'm really enjoying the Overworld, and now I have this pagoda, so we might be here to stay. Let's see. So, now let's take a look at the proper quest line. Hey, we even got a little check mark right there. Green check mark. Good, good. Oh, we can have more stuff to claim here. Give me more coins. So we need to make a whole bunch of machines, specifically ones that will allow us to move forward in the pack. It looked like Brim had already made them, so in a way we're kind of catching up to our friend. We need to make pretty much all the LV machines, right? What happens if we look at Greg and Basic? For the most part, we might need to make most of these. I don't think we necessarily need to show all of them. I mean, recipes are relatively simple. We can find things like buzzsaw blades and whatnot. We do need to make some robot arms, that sort of thing. But for the most part, I think we should just be able to crack on with this. Basic lathe is going to allow us to make some amazing rods, specifically at a much cheaper price, a 1-to-2, instead of our standard 1-to-1. Next up is the basic alloy smelter. This is going to allow us to basically take any ingots and mix them together. So I didn't have to do this electrum for our fantastic jetpack. Instead, I could have done other things. Now, is this just saying I can make steel now? Coal dust, and I can also use charcoal for circuits. Charcoal, you might want to save your coal dust. Yada yada, alloy smelter. Either of these dust or coal dust into carbon dust, which can be used for steel and other useful things. I have been desiring to make steel, so let's take a quick peek at that. Steel ingot, please. What is your methodology? So we can take our wrought iron with some coal dust or charcoal. That is very important. Or carbon dust. And we can get steel. Finally, we're going to have a good source of steel. So wrought iron, and I guess we'll grab some charcoal. We'll have to bring some of this upstairs in a bit more of a permanent capacity. But this will help us out greatly moving forward. Where, oh where, is the thing I need? There we go. Charcoal. Charcoal dust. Thank you. Hello. We ran out already. But we can give this a quick test run. This is going to give us more steel than we've had in the past. Whoa, so exciting. And this is very much needed, as we just demonstrated. This is going to replace our iron mortar for pretty much everything. The Macerator will be able to take our disgusting, filthy charcoal. It's actually amazing. I love charcoal. It's the best thing in the world. And it should be able to grind it up into our charcoal dust that we need to make more steel. How about that? That is so great. Looked like there was a quest for dark steel ingots, which we could make with steel ingots and obsidian. But we kind of already have some dark steel. So we can just complete a quest like that. Isn't that lovely? Look how much of the stuff we just did already. Great. Oh, that's deep mob learning. Ooh, we might be getting closer to that. That's really exciting. But we should try and stick to our basic machines right now. Whereabouts do we want to go next? I believe that the last place we're going to be heading with this episode is we want to make at least a few of all of the different types of little modules. So we want to make a robot arm. We've already made the piston. We just made the conveyor, and we want to make a pump. Now the pump does require rubber rings, and there we go. There's the conveyor. So I'm going to grab a whole bunch of rubber rings so that we can make that. What else was needed with the pump? I don't know. I don't want to deal with that right now. I'm going to make a robot arm. Haha! Robot arm. These things are going to allow us to make an assembly machine, which is going to be super useful soon. But we'll probably have to wait for an assembly machine in the next episode. Can we try and get one of these guys? A tin rotor. Ugh. Gross. Hammer, tin rod. Alright, let's get the stuff. One very nice thing about a lathe is I'm pretty sure this can make screws. How does that work again? How do we get to the pulverization cutting saw? If we make a cutting saw, we can get bolts. But for right now, we'll have to stick with this method. And once we have bolts, we can put it back in a lathe. And that should make our screws. Fantastic. And the screws are going to assist us in making the fan. Alright, there's our tin rings. Can we make a pump now? Alright, where's the pump? What are we doing? Let's see. Tin ring. Can we make a rotor? Can we make a few rotors? Oh, that's good. Toss this in here. We want to save the recipes for this. This is there is another alternative recipe for pistons. That saves a little bit of iron, but it uses a bit more charcoal. Let's see. Can we get that to work? It requires a whole bunch of tools, so I think we might actually do it back in here. There's always plentiful number of tools in here. Looks like we do need, unfortunately, a bronze pipe. Now, I did grab some bronze. We made some in our alloy smelter. Oh, it's already useful. How about that? But we need them to be plates. Aww. Can we get this to function, please? We're so close to making a pump. Pumps right now are excruciatingly hard to make. And that's why it's super important to do batch crafting. Batch crafting is life. Batch crafting will save your soul. Because crafting it this way certainly won't do you any good. Rubber rings. Do we not have those in there? We moving stuff around? Are we complicating the system? Where's the motors? All this to make one pump. Why? Tin cable? Don't worry, I got some tin cable for you. All the tin cable right there. Tin wire? No worries. Now that's tin cable. Boom. Just let me make a pump. Thank you so much. Alright, and what do we need pumps for? Pumps are going to allow us to make fluid extractors, fluid solidifiers, basically anything to do with fluids, and those will be incredibly useful, but for right now, I just want to throw this pump in some lava, but I won't because it was so hard to make. And there we go. We have a lot of progress that has already happened in this episode. We have a compressor, a macerator, all sorts of fantastic stuff. I didn't even get to talk about how useful the macerator is. Hello. Hi. We can take our ores, like this fantastic iron ore, toss it in our macerator, and this is going to give us double ore. How awesome is that? Though apparently pretty slowly. If only there was a tool that let me do that even better. Maybe something called like a smashing smelting hammer. I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out in the next episode. Greg Tech and pumps have stressed me out a little bit. So, I hope that you've had a great time learning Greg Tech with me and, you know, doing some Omnifactory stuff. It's been good for me too. Okay, now, look, we gotta go, okay? In between episodes, I might make a few more machines. These are just not cutting it. Maybe some more steam dynamos, all sorts of good stuff. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying this. And, you know, take it easy. Bye-bye!